Alrighty guys, the Diecast International builders have a Cars of the 70s build. The 70s, in my opinion, had some of the greatest cars ever. We had great big land yachts like the Lincoln Continental and the Chevy Impala. Then we had, some crazy stuff like the Imperials, and then we even had some little boxy compact cars that I like the Gremlin and the Pacer and the Chevette. And we had some great trucks of the 1970s, had some great muscle cars, had a lot of really cool vans. For this build, though, I have chosen something that I can relate to pretty heavily. As a lot of you guys know, I have a 72 F-250 Highboy. That's not what we're going to do, but this truck here, this is a 71 F-100 two-wheel drive. But other than the fact that it's two-wheel drive, this is a lot like my truck. Not the way it looks, but body style. If this thing was painted white with a red top and not Miami Dolphins themed. So the casting we're going to do is actually more like my truck. But I found this by mistake one day looking up some kind of paint colors for Ford trucks. And I found this beautiful paint scheme on this. Obviously this is custom. It's for the Miami Dolphins. But I really like this orange and blue color. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do orange and blue. What they call a bump side Ford truck. And I'm picturing some of my friends cringing because they can't stand the different names that the Ford guys use. But they got a bump going down the side. That's why they're bump sides. We're not real creative. But this is what we're going to do here. Here's the other picture of it. The back end's going to be a little different. But basically, this is what we're shooting for. This is what we're starting out with. If you guys have seen my truck in some videos, this looks a lot like my truck. It's not quite Wimbledon white, but it's pretty darn close. It's a white, four-wheel drive, factory lift kit, we'll say. Now the F1, this is, M2 says this is an F-100, somewhere. Wherever it says that. Down there. That means this is not a Highboy, because the Highboys have to be a Highboy, it's got to be an F-250. But that's irrelevant. This truck currently pretty much looks like my truck, except my truck's got a red top, not an orange top, and thank God it does not have matching wheels. They look okay on this, but I'm glad mine are white. So this little Fanta truck, I can't figure out what Coca-Cola / Fanta would want with four-wheel drive pickup truck. This is going to be our Cars of the 70s build. So we got to take this thing apart. I think I'm going to take the wheels off and take everything out and then put the doors and the cab and the bed back on the chassis to paint it. Because since it's two-tone, I want everything to match up correctly. I normally don't do that, but I'm a little concerned at how else I'm going to get this to line up. My last two-tone thing I did painted separately, and you could tell I painted it separately. So we're going to blow this guy apart. So here's the truck apart as well as I need it to be apart. Like I said, there's a lot of color changing going on here. I gotta look at that picture again. I may be able to get by with painting the doors since they have body lines on them. The doors should be okay to paint. I better remember to take the vent windows out of them though. Boy, those are going to be little bitty things, hard to put back in. That's gonna be interesting. Took the motor out. We got a battery, and I think that's supposed to be the air conditioning box. I wouldn't know what that's like on mine. I do know what it looks like. It looks like that. That's definitely a battery. And I don't have a clue what this is. M2 has that little white thing on a lot of their trucks. On a lot of these Ford trucks. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I've seen these bump side trucks with every option that was available on them. I don't have a clue what that white thing's supposed to be. But anyway, maybe I'll paint it. I shouldn't paint it with the hood on it, but I don't want to take the battery out either. So I probably will have to take all that crap out and then just paint inside of there again. But here's a little motor. Got the radiator come with it. Got our bumpers. There's a better look at our seats. This one's no fun right now. It's an automatic. We're going to drill a little hole in there, put a little bent nail in there. It's going to be a stick shift. That's no fun to be automatic and be a four-wheel drive truck like that. And it does have a radio. Just to answer the question from a previous video on this truck, that one's got a radio. Not the right steering wheel, but that's okay. So now we're gonna take this apart. I took it upon myself to go ahead and detail the grill. It's not showing up very good right now, and I may try it again. It appears that the alcohol and Sharpie did not seep into all of the little crevices in that like I thought they did, so I'll do some more on that. So yeah, other than taking the tires off, because I'll have to paint the wheels, it's ready to go in the stripper. So my idea here for the blue stripe is that I had better put the truck together and then tape everything off. It's going to be harder to tape off, but I want these colors to line up, and since the door's open and the bed's separate, there's going to be a lot of potential for things to not line up when it's assembled. So the bed came out pretty good. The cab I had to redo, so it's drying right now. The hood came out really good. And I didn't like the white interior in the real truck that I showed you the pictures of, so I did the green to match the body color, the body stripe on the seat and the dashboard. The dashboard in every one of these trucks that I've ever seen is black, but I thought the blue would be a good contrast, you know, like so. I thought it'd be a good contrast. I may not like it. I like the colored steering wheel. Probably wouldn't have been like that. Oh, and I was looking in my tiny little nails to make the stick shift. This little pin, the head on it, see that little pin head? That is the same color, almost the same color as all of our stuff we've been painting. So, I thought that was perfect. So I'm going to try to use that for our stick shift. I'm going to try something here. This is a green light cab. I thought the green light grill was a little more detailed than the M2. This has served me on 3 customs so far. So I'm hoping maybe the green light grill will fit on this M2 cab. So we'll find out. I'm going to put the tires back on and get this thing approximately ready to put back together. I feel like I never show this good enough. Drill a hole in the floor. Take your little pin. In this case, I usually use a nail. Take your little pin that the camera won't focus on. Cut it to length. And then hold it with a pair of pliers and bend it. That's your gear shifter. I'll probably have half an hour in assembling this thing. It's got all these little parts and pieces, and the vent windows and the bumpers and the grills. The green light grill's about 1 millimeter, maybe half a millimeter, too wide, so it will not fit on the M2. But I got this all put back together and was admiring it. And I look over to my right, and I see the interior. So I gotta take it apart. Boy, I tell you, putting this thing back together and trying to not get fingerprints all over it was a mess. So there's the base. Got our wheels. I smudged that for the 3rd time. Our wheels are now color matched to the correct color orange of the body. I did a cardinal sin and I painted a Ford Chevrolet orange, but it looks really good for this. And I think the turquoise dash was a good call. Look at that. Got that little shifter in there. Same color as everything. That's awesome. And the seats. It's nice to have seats in there. These were a pain to glue back in. The little vent windows. I got this blue top there. M2 didn't cast in the defrost vents, so I made some. Chromed the windshield wipers out. Filled in the grill. Because it didn't look right. Put the Ford letters on the hood. Remove the hair from it. Put the little badges on the front of the hood. Put the chrome strip along the bottom. This looks really crappy along the bottom. And it didn't look like that until I put the Molotov pin to it, the chrome pin to it. So I don't know what kind of paint reaction that was, but got a little sport badge back there. Got the little red lens on the back. Got our Ford on the tailgate. Got our tail lights. I see it needs some reverse lights. And maybe I have a lot of chrome back there. But that's how it's supposed to be. Oh, it rolls good. That's good. Oh, did I scratch it? No, I didn't scratch it. I just don't have all the paint off of it. I did this for about an hour along the bottom where the tape didn't seal up the other day. For this bottom part. Alright. I think I got it. So the doors, one of the doors was loose earlier. Now neither of them want to open. That one looks like it wants to open. So there you can see inside. I even painted the seat mount there. Not the mount, but the hinge. Oh yeah, and I didn't show that to you. I chromed the steering wheel and the radio. And the dashboard, not the dashboard, but the badge on the glove box. As far as the hood, got a chrome air breather cover, and since it's a Ford, it should have a red top on the Motorcraft battery, and now it does. Hood doesn't open very good, but boy, the truck rolls good, and I'm glad I got this done on time. I had some painting, some issues. The blue paint didn't want to paint over the orange paint. It was like a chemical reaction, and I had to sand down the sides of the cab. The bed was fine, but the cab gave me some trouble. I'd like to thank the Die-Cast International Builders for hosting the Cars of the 70s build invitational. There's the right word. I'll get this guy on the turntable for you. Let me know what you think of it. If you're the lucky person in Florida that has the real version of this truck that bought it from Meekum, how do you like it? I love it. I think it's awesome. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Have a great day, and I will catch you in the next video.